tell us when, John.
Okay. All right, we'll just ask all members to please turn on your microphones for the record. Chairman, the floor is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call the April 28th, 2026 Borough of Clifton Heights Zoning Board hearing to order. If everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Before I hand everything over to the solicitor, I'd just like to do a roll call. If the board members would please give us your name and your address, please.
Catherine Sane, 110 East Washington Avenue.
Michael Humphreys, 35 Arch Street.
Joe Lombardo, 33 West Baltimore Avenue.
Jennifer Trout, 213 North Oak Avenue.
Taryn Smith, 518 Chester Avenue.
Thank you very much. Mr. Solicitor,
Good evening,
Yours.
Mr. Chairman and members of the board. You have the agenda tonight. You have two hearings. The first is docketed as number ZH-2026-02, which is the application of Tina Melton and Carlette Brooks for the property known as 403 West Baltimore Avenue in Clifton Heights, Pennsylvania, which is operated as Illusions Bar and Restaurant. Their request is for a variance from the regulations of Clifton Heights Zoning Code, Section 340-61, to allow for larger signage than permitted in the C2 zoning district. Mr. Chairman and members of the board, I would point out for housekeeping purposes that the advertisement of this hearing was made in the Delaware County Daily Times on April 13th and April 20th, 2026. We would mark the proof of publication of that publication as Board Exhibit 1. And then I'll ask Mr. Gould, our zoning officer, was the property at 403 West Baltimore Avenue posted for tonight's hearing?
Yes, sir, it was. I posted it on April 15th, 2026.
All right. So, and you took a photograph of the posting at that time?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. So we'll mark that as Board Exhibit number 2 and enter that into the record. And then finally, again, to Mr. Gould, was there a distribution made to the residents in that area as required by the code?
Yes, that's correct.
And so we'll have that public notice marked as Board Exhibit number 3. Are the applicants present? Why don't you come on up?
you guys would just turn that microphone on, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
Are you all right?
Raise your right hands. I'm going to swear you both in.
Sure.
Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Yes,
State your name and spell your name for the record, please.
I'm Tanya Melton, Tinya Melton.
Carlette Brooks, Carlettebrookс.
Mr. Chairman, before we begin with the applicant's presentation, we do recognize we have the Clifton Heights Borough Solicitor here, Samantha Newell. Is the borough participating this evening in this hearing?
The borough is, yes.
So we'll enter the borough's appearance as of record. And is there anyone else present who wishes to be a party in this action? By a party in this action, it means it's somebody that has a direct and substantial interest in the outcome, typically somebody that lives adjacent or very near to the property. You can be a party to the action. You don't, and then at the end, we'll also ask for public comment. So you don't have to be a party to the action to present public comment. But if you wanted to participate by presenting witnesses or asking questions or that type of thing, you could present yourself as a party. So is there anybody that wishes to be a party to this action at this point in time? All right, hearing none, Mr. Chairman, it would be proper for the applicants to proceed with their presentation.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tanya Melton. I manage the Illusions, one of the managers at Illusions at 403 West Baltimore Avenue. We are coming on this year, we'll make our 10-year anniversary being there. We've been there for 10 years. We've been through the pandemic and everything. The building is starting to get worn, so we've been hoping to do upgrades. As you see, the sign is kind of worn out. So also every day, even as just recently, Sunday, I had someone say, I never knew what Illusions was. We've been here for 10 years and there's still so many people around here who doesn't know what Illusions is. So I thought to get a sign replacing that, similar to that, and also like something around where the overhang is, just to go around that to promote what Illusions is. It's a soul food restaurant. It's a sports bar. Upstairs, we host banquets, things like that that people just don't know. So I thought to advertise it, it would be great, as well as a new look for, after 10 years, just to beautify it because it's looking a little worn. So that's a little of what we're asking for.
Ma'am, did you want to say anything?
No, not at this time. Really, what's happening is that I let Tanya manage the restaurant because my husband passed away 2 years ago, and I wasn't all there. So she would help me out a lot with everything. I'm getting better now. As time go on, I'm getting better. I'll spend more time there and we'll work more together. But as Tanya said that, a lot of people just don't know what Illusions is. They don't know. There's so many cars ride by there every day. And I never knew this place was here. Once they get something to eat off of Uber Eat or something like that, they say, I never knew this place was here. So that's why we really, I think we really, really do need a new sign there.
Okay. Is your presentation completed? Is there anything else you'd like to add or to say? No?
I mean, no, I didn't know what to expect. I just wanted to just tell you what we want, why we want it. Other than that, we have no issues there. We, like I said, we've been here for 10 years. It was a rough time in the beginning, with my uncle passing and everything, but we was just trying to make the business, and, we help out with a lot of little area things,
Donations and things like that.
Little League and stuff like that. And I'm starting to get some people know, but we still run it. Like I ran into somebody who had like a Boy Scout something. They didn't know where we were. And, someone told them, but they said, wow, we could have did something last year or something, so just so people can know in the area that we're there and we may be able to help people with, events and things like that. So that's the only thing.
Okay. Any folks on the board have any questions? No?
Mr. Chairman, can I ask a couple of questions of the applicant? So Ms. Meltner, Ms. Brooks, when requesting a variance from the zoning hearing board, as you may know, what you're asking to do is to ask the board to grant you some relief so that you don't have to go by some of the rules in the zoning ordinance. The reason that you're here tonight is because the sign that you're requesting is larger than what is permitted in the
Okay.
borough's ordinance. So why don't you give a description to the board members as to what type of sign you want to put up, how big is it going to be, and why does it need to be bigger than the standard sign that's permitted in the commercial area in Clifton Heights?
Okay, so as you see the sign on the top that says illusions, that's going to be replaced similar to the size. It's just different letters. They like standalone letters, channel lock letters. I think the extra square footage is coming from the brown. You see the brown overhang on the picture? So it's like an awning to go, just something to go over there that would be extra signage. That's what basically it is, to kind of promote, like, we do weddings, we do baby showers, things like that, just stating some of the things that we do. Because I get every day that people just don't know what Illusion has to offer or whatever. And people really do look at the sign. And replace, I had a sign put up and it just says basically soul food. And that got a lot of buzz. It just said soul food. They said, I never knew this was a restaurant that sells soul food, you know? And so that actually gave me the idea. It was just like an Amazon sign that was posted that I wanted to, you know, yeah, so.
So I have a question, Mr. Solicitor, for Mr. Gould, just to be clear. The application is for 352 square feet of signage.
Correct.
And what's allowed is 30 square feet of signage.
That's correct.
What they have now, is it 30 square feet of signage?
No, looking at it, it's larger than 30 square foot. I don't have the exact measurement, but it's already over the limit under our current ordinance.
I can answer, Mr. Chairman, that
It's existing.
well, no, that at some point it may have been 10 years ago, Illusions did apply for to have a larger sign. If you recall, there used to be the bungalow sign that was there.
Yes.
And when they did begin, when they opened Illusions, within a year or two after that, I do recall that the zoning hearing board did hear an application and granted the application so that the sign that is, you see here, that's present there now, which is larger than the 30 square feet, would be permitted. So at some point in the past, whether it be 7, 8 years ago, we were here doing this before.
Right, so I was,
Where you did get a larger sign. So as I understand it now, maybe you can explain to the board, the Illusions part of the sign, are you just simply replacing that with a new refreshed sign?
it's similar to that, but yes, it's similar to that. It's just like standalone letters. I think I have in the package. John, do you have it? I just forgot to bring it. I was not coming from where I was. Okay, yeah. So.
Is it going to be the same size, roughly the same size as the Illusions there now?
That part is roughly kind of similar to that size, but I think the extra square footage is coming from where the brown part is like a signage. Oh, darn, this is a big part. This is a big picture. I'm sorry.
I'll ask you about the awning sign second, but just on the top part, I'm just trying to get an idea for the board about whether or not the replacement of the name sign Illusions.
Yes,
is
but
going to be the same size or bigger or smaller or?
No, I think it's this. I'm almost sure it's the same size, but just set up different. It's like, see where the banquet hall, that extra piece, it's just going to be the letters. It's just going to say Illusions and it's spelled out. So that is going to be like the same amount of space, but it's the letters. It's not.
Okay, are you keeping the banquet hall and sports bar strip there?
No, that strip won't be there. That's going to be part of, probably take up space with the letters. But so, and then around there, it would, at the bottom, it'll be like a on, and where the brown part is, if you see right under illusions, that little,
So I'll ask you about that next, but like I said,
Okay.
just the top part, it's just going to be the lettering that says illusions.
yes,
It's no longer going to say, you know,
not on that part, no.
so that's going to come off. And then
Yes.
that black piece that's there to the left.
That's gonna be part of the illusions, no, it's just
That's
gonna
going to
say.
be
the
there
name.
too. So
It's
that-
gonna be illusions, it's not gonna be
Now,
there.
please explain what is the signage you're proposing? Is it going to cover the entire awning?
Right around, yes, it's just gonna be like a strip of, just to go around it, yes.
And what is it going to be made of in terms of, like, is it going to be metal and plastic, or you're not just going to put a tarp on top of the awning, right?
No, it's not a tarp, no, it's like a plastic sign,
Vinyl?
vinyl, yeah,
Vinyl.
vinyl,
Is
vinyl.
it going to be right on top of the awning, or is it going to
So it's
stand
a
up?
frame, that goes around, go adjacent, a frame that goes around it. It stands, it'll have like a little metal frame that goes around it.
And I see with the application, it's very small, it's hard to see.
I know, I'm sorry.
That's right. On the
The
left-hand
person,
side, there's going to be, it looks like in yellow letters, the word soul.
yes, just right there around. It just wraps around.
And that soul food sign, that's actually, again, I know that you had a temporary sign there on and off that stated soul food.
Yes.
Is that soul food sign going to be larger or smaller than the temporary one that was on the wall?
Oh, it's smaller. That's gonna be smaller than that, yes.
And then what else will it say on the vinyl sign that would go on or in front of that awning?
I'm sorry. It says, it lets you know that we do wedding, receptions, baby showers, things like that. It just tells you like what type of event space we can host.
Okay, so is there going to be like an electronic sign at all?
No.
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 So it's going to say, and I only ask because I
sorry.
do see with the rendering that you submitted with the application, but it's so small.
I
can't
know,
really
that's
make it
why I'm
out.
gonna try to pull it up for you right now, and I'm so sorry. This is what they
If you look
sent
at
me.
that to the right of where it says soul food, there's a bunch of letters that
Yep,
that I imagine probably says something like sports bar and restaurant or weddings or something like that, but we can't really make it out. So if you
Yep.
can tell the board what that says, that would be helpful.
sure, I will show you right now. Screen record. God did not send me this stuff, right?
Okay.
Okay, let me see. He was supposed to come. Okay. If it's, okay.
Can you approach?
Oh, I can do it. Okay.
Let's give our court reporter a minute to get settled.
You can email it to me.
Chairman, while we're off the record, I think what they're trying to do is email that photo to John Gould, and then he can put it up on the screen.
Does yours have the dimensions on it? Says the letters are 36 inches.
I do see that, but then I can't make out what's
And then
underneath that.
Underneath of that, it looks like there's.
6
what's-
EE
What's
or
this? Is this signage?
Put that on.
yes, but she said that wouldn't be there.
That's not gonna be there.
One second. Yeah, did you get it, John?
Not yet.
Didn't get it?
It is there.
Thanks, John.
Lori, so we're back on the record, and we were just able to obtain the rendering for the proposed illusion sign from the applicant, and it's now being displayed in the meeting room. What we'll do for our record purposes is Mr. Gould will print this out, and we'll mark it as applicant's exhibit number 1 for purposes of the hearing. So sort of to go back, Mr. Chairman, may I continue to ask questions regarding the design?
Yes.
So you'll have the name illusions there, and then underneath that banquet hall dot event space, will that also be part of the signage there?
Yes.
John, if you could just scroll up.
Oh, wait, he did say, wait. I didn't even see that part. So it does still hit a small part, banquet hall and event space. Yes, I'm sorry. I thought it was only the numbers. What I hit on here. It's been a while.
And then the strip that's with the purple background and mostly yellow lettering that's at the bottom of what is now Exhibit A1, that is what will go across the awning.
Yes, that's it.
And as Mr. Gould has scrolled down, we've got a sort of rendering of what it would look like on the building, and it sort of wraps around the side a little bit. Does it wrap around the other side also?
No.
I think if you go back up, to the top, John, if you can make that a little bit smaller.
Mhm.
There's
It does wrap.
There is a piece, a left-hand piece.
Oh, that one. He did hit that one. Okay, so I'm sorry, I had two different, he gave me two different markups.
Is this the one you're asking the board to approve this evening?
Yes, that's the one.
The one that's we've marked as A1.
Yes.
And again, we can kind of see this is much better where it says soul food, sports bar and restaurant, lunch, dinner catering. There's a box with a pink background and white lettering. It's hard to make out. What does it say in that?
You said the
box?
pink letter. It says birthday parties, baby showers, repasts, brunches, banquets, weddings, seminars, pop-ups, prom send-offs, and church events.
I don't have any further questions at this time, Mr. Chairman.
Does the borough want to make a presentation or any comments?
I do have a couple of questions for the applicant, if that's permissible.
Certainly.
Is this so under a variance, you're aware that a variance has to be for the minimum relief necessary? So is this the minimum amount of signage that you feel is necessary in order for people to see and get your business exposure?
Yeah, because I kind of like, it's not only just for the signage, it's for just to bring, like, brighten up the space or whatever, like cover the overlay. That's what the extra signage, I thought I would use it to promote the place. Just trying to spruce things up a little bit.
So in your opinion, it cannot be designed any smaller. This is the smallest that you can get it. And still achieve your.
Well, it
desired
wouldn't
outcome.
cover the, The overlay, I don't want to get rid of that. I want to keep that, but I kind of wanted to like cover it, like to go around the building in the front, that bottom part, that's the part. And the other one is just replacing what it is, because if I take that down, that's like the space that it would replace.
Right, at least in this rendering, the illusion sign appears to be larger than the previous illusion sign. Mr. Gould, is there a way that you could flip back to the current sign?
Sure. I think you have a picture of both of them next to each other.
Oh, yeah, it's right there.
There you go.
Let me go to where I can blow that up. Hold on 1 second.
Well, as far as that sign, I mean, that doesn't have to be that much bigger than the other one. I would talk to him and have him like kind of put it in the same size as that. But like, I think the extra, as far as the, I really like the wraparound, but the actual illusion sign, I'll have to ask him what's the difference, because I really don't remember the dimensions and the size that's there and the one that is going, like how much of a difference it is. Because I just thought it would, when I explained to him, I just thought I would replace that. So as far as going much bigger, no, you're right. It doesn't have to be much bigger, because I just want to brighten it up actually, because it's faded and everything. So the size of it is actually not bad. The only extra stuff that I'm asking for is the sign around. That's what I really would want to change. But the illusion sign, no, that's not, it doesn't have to be that big.
And in your opinion, this doesn't alter the character of the community?
Not at all. Not at all.
And are you agreeable if the zoning hearing board were to permit or grant your request for relief? Would you be agreeable to a condition limiting your ability to use those temporary signage?
The temporary signage?
So right now you had a temporary, like a vinyl sign up that
Well,
says
we
soul
moved
food.
it.
Right, so would you be open to a condition if the zoning hearing board were to grant your application,
Okay.
that you would be limited from using that temporary signage, since you would be gaining, if approved, such new additional signage?
Yeah.
Yes.
The temporary sign really get weather worn, and so
Yeah.
that wouldn't last anyway. That was really temporary.
So meaning like replacing it, like taking it down.
Taking it down, you
Yes,
wouldn't
that's-
have to put it
that
back
was-
up.
That would be my goal for that. When I get that, it would be removed.
Perfect. And then would you be agreeable to a condition if the zoning hearing board were to grant this application for relief, that illusions does not extend further than the current illusions, or is kept to as minimal extension as possible?
Yes.
The borough has no more questions. Thank you.
Solicitor?
I don't have any further questions. Is there any further witnesses that the applicant wants to present?
No, my sign person was supposed to make it, but he got something happened, so I don't know.
I got one question. Is
Sure.
that lower sign going to be lit up? Or is that just going to be like solid? Is that all the way around the bottom sign that you want, where it says soul food and sports bar, restaurant, and the weddings and everything else?
I think it has lights behind it,
But it's very dim.
not really bright.
Very dim.
It looks like on the rendering. All right.
Why don't we ask the question, will the sign with the name Illusions, will that sign be lit?
Yes, it'll be lit just as the one that we have now lit. It lights up already. It's
And it will
not
be
like.
internally, so in other words, the lights are inside the sign.
Yes, everything's inside. It's not, no, it's not like the,
And how about the
Lights.
banner strip along the awning? Is that to be lit with internal lighting?
yes, it has some lights inside, very subtle lights.
The lights are very, very dim. It's not like it would, like the oncoming traffic, like when you drive in and you have oncoming traffic and the headlights are blinding you, the lights is nowhere near as bright as that. The lights are very dim.
Okay.
from the sidewalk.
So just for clarity, I'm going to ask again, there are lights inside of the wraparound sign as well as the signs that are backlighting currently on the awning. So there will be two sources of light, or are we just intending to use the lights that are currently present? If we can go to the other picture.
Oh, you're talking about the ones on the wall?
Yes.
I
so
think
those
they were-
Current ones, are those?
Yes, the ones on the wall, that's.
yeah.
Are those,
Yeah, they like,
Sconce, like
they-
Sconce lights, are those what you're intending to use as the light source? Or is there going to be lights?
no, I
inside
thought,
of
I
that?
think they were replacing that with some lighting inside. I think that was the idea to replace that.
The current lights there are facade lights. They shine up on the facade there.
yeah, they shine up, which is
Right.
blue,
No,
red, or
that's not.
green.
Not that one, that's not
The,
correct.
the lights up the top you talk about, are they the ones?
Mr. Solicitor, would it be
You don't have to use them.
advantageous now to ask anyone in the audience that is a resident that'd like to make a comment? Or
Yeah, well, so at this point, you don't have any more witnesses or documents to present, correct?
I don't have any more witnesses or documents to present, no.
It would be proper at this point for the borough, if they wish to present any witnesses or documents.
The borough does not wish to present any witnesses or documents. The borough would just like to make a brief kind of closing statement, if you will. The borough is appreciative of Illusions and finds that they are a positive neighbor in the community and is not here in a sense to inhibit their signage. The borough was here in an attempt to ask the board if they would consider placing conditions upon the signage, such as minimizing the Illusion sign to a size comparable to what is already presently there, as well as placing a condition that temporary signage must be taken down and cannot be replaced back up so long as the new signage is present.
And with that, Mr. Chairman, it would be proper to ask whether there's any public comment.
are there any residents here that were members of council, I see in the audience, that would like to make a comment regarding this matter? No?
Hearing none, we can close the record in this matter. So we'll introduce the board exhibits and Exhibit A1. So the record will be closed. The board does have one other application to hear this evening, so it's whatever the board chooses to do, whether you wish to deliberate now on this application or do both of them at the end of the night. Up to the board.
What's your pleasure, folks? Want to do one and talk about both, or what would you guys like to do?
I'd like to do this now.
Yeah, I'd like
Okay.
to do this one now.
That's fine. So the board's going to take a 10-minute recess?
Please turn off your microphones.
So ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to reconvene the Borough of Clifton Heights Zoning Board hearing for April 28th, 2026.
So, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, and to the applicants, the board has had a chance to begin their deliberations in this matter. I think the board came to the conclusion that it may be difficult, if not impossible, to grant the relief that you're requesting without additional information, particularly from the person from the sign company. We would very much like to hear from that person. For instance, right now, we don't have any sort of accurate measurements of the size of the sign. I mean, we have a visual depiction, but the board feels that it would be important to their decision, if they were to grant you any relief, to have more information in hand regarding the size of the sign and what exactly is being proposed. So we're asking the applicant, would you be able to, or would you agree to continue this matter to next month's meeting, which would be on the same Tuesday at the end of May, in order to, so that you could present your professional from the sign company, so that he could provide documentation, he or she could provide documentation to the board with accurate measurements of all of the signage and the different parts of the signage. It's typical for the sign professional to, be able to measure not just the total, but also for each individual piece. Like they'll measure where the word soul food are there. They'll tell us how big that is and how big some of the side panels, how big they're going to be. So the board feels it's important to have that information in order to be able to, consider granting any sort of relief to you.
Okay.
Will the applicant continue the night's hearing until next month and present your sign professional at that point in time?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we'll have everything.
Great. So, Mr. Chairman, we will recess this meeting for now, continue it to next month, and we'll get the notices again out on that and reconvene this continued hearing at the May meeting.
Okay,
Thank you.
fair enough. Thank you so much.
So Ms. Melton and Ms. Brooks, thank you for coming tonight. We'll see you next month.
Thanks for hearing us. All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
You did a fine job testifying. Like I said, get your sign guy to be here.
Take care.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Solicitor, our next applicant is Drew Skinner. Is Drew Skinner here? Sir, if you'd like to come forward, please.
Thanks, yeah, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, this is application number ZH-2026-03. It is the application of Drew Skinner for the property known as 29 East Baltimore Avenue in Clifton Heights, Pennsylvania, requesting a special exception pursuant to Clifton Heights Zoning Code Section 340-41 to allow use as assembly on premises catering and in-house tastings. Once again, Mr. Chairman, this matter was advertised in the Delaware County Daily Times on April 13th and 20th, 2026, and will mark the proof of publication of that advertising as Board Exhibit Number 1. And then I would ask Mr. Gould, the zoning officer, was the property posted with notice of tonight's hearing?
Yes, sir, it was. I posted it on April 15th, 2026. At the same time, I did distribute flyers of the notification to the neighbors.
Okay, so, and you took a photograph of the posting of the property on April 15th?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we'll mark that as Board Exhibit Number 2, and then the public notice that was distributed to the residents per the zoning code will mark as Board Exhibit Number 3. Mr. Skinner, these are here. Do you have any questions regarding the publication or the notice? So with that, Mr. Chairman, the applicant can proceed and
So
be
would you like
sworn.
to make your presentation?
Sure.
Swear.
Yes.
Just raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm testimony that's given will be the truth and the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God. State and swear your name, please.
Drew, D-R-E-W, Skinner, S-K-I-N-N-E-R.
Mr. Skinner, could you turn your microphone on?
Just push the button there.
Thank you.
Okay.
So, sir, if you'd like to begin with your presentation?
Thank you. My name is Drew Skinner. This is my wife with Sam. I've had Cricket Catering since 1990. We originally were in Ardmore. And in 2006, we were given the opportunity to purchase the building on Baltimore Avenue. It's actually two addresses. The building wraps around like an L. It's actually 29-31 East Baltimore Avenue. We've been catering, off-premise catering from that commissary since 2006. Doing all sorts of different events up to about 8,000 guests down to around 10 people, combination of deliveries, a lot of weddings, a lot of university events, quite successful. And until the pandemic hit, and then we kind of slowed down. During that period of time, we felt that we had an opportunity to do some smaller non-wedding type events within the building. We're limited in size. I didn't really want to get involved in doing weddings on Baltimore Avenue. I preferred to do the weddings off premise. And we've started getting requests from clients for like showers, both bridal and birthdays, graduations, rehearsal dinners, memorial services. And so we're requesting permission to open it up to that type of in-house catering.
Okay. Do you have any drawings or renderings of where would the people enter? Where would the people?
Well, those two vehicles, well, one of those vehicles is still there, but both of those vehicles are no longer there, essentially.
Right.
The dumpster is no longer there. We're going to position that in the other half of our building, which wraps around to Walnut Street.
So the dumpster would be inside the building?
The dumpster, we're working on having a position inside the building for the dumpster. On the side street there, you see
Okay.
that? Yeah, that's my other loading dock right there.
Okay. What's the square footage of the room that you want to use, the space that you want to use for this?
Not including the access to the bathrooms. The square footage of usable party space
Yes.
is approximately 1,240 square feet.
How many people would that hold?
Well, I mean, mathematically, in my business, we always do the math. Mathematically, I could, in theory, seat 124 people.
Okay.
In actuality, we're not looking to do that. We're looking to do, average for this type of event would be 50 to 75.
So for 75 people, so for a space that size, Mr. Gould, how many parking spots would you need for 75 people?
Let me find and to start, at this point, there's been no building or fire code calculations. That numbers for that space is probably going
I understand.
to be about half of that by the time
I understand.
that takes place. But under our code right now, under our zoning code, excuse me one second. All right, under our off-street parking requirements for auditoriums, theaters, and similar places of public assembly require one parking space for every 3 seats.
Okay. So they need, before you got in there to tell them how many people they really could have, if they wanted to have 75 people, they would need 25 parking spots.
Correct.
Right? Okay. Just curious, is it, Is it possible to have a dumpster inside a building?
That I would have to talk to our health officer on, being it is a commercial kitchen. We'd have to take a look at that, and the fire marshal would also have to look at that.
Yeah, I just found that unusual. Does anybody on the board have any questions?
The size of the,
Go ahead, Mr. Skinner.
the size of our parking lot is 40 by 57.
You have any idea how many parking spots are in that, where the trucks are parked right now? Is that gonna be your parking right there?
No, well, we're certainly going to use that for parking. That would not be enough. Across the street, there is probably 8 available parking spots, and on Walnut Street, there's 4 to 5, plus whatever
Would you
municipal.
redo
parking
the
lot.
facade there in the front? Like, are you still gonna have that
Well-
big garage door on the right-hand side, or?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, and we're not using that as a garage. That is,
I'm sorry, it looks like a garage door, so that's why I said.
Right.
I apologize. Does anybody on the board have any questions?
I do. I don't think I heard the
Sure.
answer.
Go
So
right ahead.
is that door where your patrons would enter?
no, the main entryway is behind the 2 vehicles. There is a handicap ramp leading up to the front door. Those 2 vehicles and,
Trying to find a clearer picture.
yeah. That's the best picture. So you enter to the right where you have a handicap ramp, and then you go up to that brown door.
Okay.
And on the right, that door would not be accessed.
Thank you.
How far is the dumpster going to be from where the people are having their get-together?
Oh, it's significant. It's, so if you can take a look at the building, it is an L-shaped building. I don't know the exact measurement from the Walnut Street to the right-hand wall there, but I would guess it's probably 35 yards. I mean, it is significant.
Mr. Skinner, do you have any pictures of the inside of the building?
I do not.
All right.
Anybody else have any questions? Mr. Solicitor, do you have any questions?
Well, just following up on that, do you have any site plans that would depict, the interior design of the facility?
No, but I can easily get pictures of the interior of the
Well,
facility.
tonight's the hearing.
Right, I understand that.
So have you engaged a professional, an architect or an engineer to design a site plan for the property that would show, for instance, where the kitchen is, where the event space would be, where the common areas would be?
This is a finished space.
Bring them on your website. I think you have them on your website, some pictures, right?
Right, I do have pictures on the
What's your
website.
website? I'll bring that up.
Yeah, the Lux, LUXE.
Okay.
But the kitchen's been in operation since 2006, and it's been established as a kitchen since then. We took it over from a Versus Bakery.
Here's some pictures of the space.
So for just record purposes, when Mr. Gould references there's pictures of the space, I think that he's brought up on our video boards, cricketcatering.com /deluxe. And this is a website that shows, that's the interior of the current building.
Yes, yes, not the kitchen.
So I'm slightly confused. I thought in some of your opening comments, it was off-premise catering only. So maybe I'm unclear. I thought that the request here was so that you could start doing on
Right,
premise.
we haven't done any, the only thing I do in the building is, if a bride wants to sample the food, they come in and I have an appointment for them, but, within the building, we have not done any.
So this setup on the website is just representative only.
But
Yeah.
so you have already done this without knowing that you could do it. It's basically what you did.
Right, I just kind of,
Okay.
basically, I just took my office desk out of there and I have an interior office. So when the pandemic hit, we just scaled back. And that equipment, the chairs that you see, the tables that you see, I owned all of those from a pre-pandemic venue that we were the exclusive caterer in.
I got a question, another one. You're gonna be a caterer. Now, I don't know the laws here. Does he need it's gonna be like, are you gonna have a bar for serving alcohol and all that in there, or what?
No, I don't have a liquor license.
But you're gonna do weddings and everything else, so.
No, I'm not doing weddings in there.
No.
No, but the way that I have the insurance that permits me to serve the client's alcohol, but I do not own a liquor license. That's the way the catering works.
I got a question, John. I don't know if you can answer. Would he need something like,
That's
you
about
know,
my,
being he's, club license? I don't know.
that's out of my purview, unfortunately. I'm not sure.
John, would you know?
I would not know. Or what you're proposing that basically would be a BYOB facility?
That is a BYOB
Oh, okay.
situation. I carry the insurance that permits me to handle the liquor once it hits whatever venue I'm in.
So your clients would have to purchase the alcohol
They
and
have
bring
to
it
provide it, and they
to
have
the
to take,
facility, and then you would serve it.
and then they would take the leftover.
Do you have any more questions, Mr. Solicitor?
I don't have any more questions, but I did, Mr. Chairman, I failed at the outset to recognize the borough solicitor. Samantha Newell was present. Does the borough wish to participate as a party here this evening?
The borough does.
Okay. So it'd be proper to, for the borough solicitor, if she has any
Yes.
cross-examination of the witnesses.
Well, that's where I was going. Ms.
Thank you.
Solicitor, if you'd like to make your presentation, please.
Thank you, Mr. Solicitor. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So you're seeking a special exception tonight of the current use to change it into almost a venue, correct?
Yes, a venue for smaller type non-wedding events.
So what about this venue and this change is promoting and protecting the health, safety, morals, and welfare of the borough?
What, repeat that again?
Sure. So under the borough's zoning code, it has a set of requirements for an applicant to meet for a special exception.
Right,
And letter A, under that set of criteria, is that the special exception must promote and protect the health, safety, morals, and welfare of the borough. So I'm wondering how converting this space from an off-site catering to an on-site venue facility is achieving any of those.
well, it's not converting the space, it is expanding the use of the space. And I know that's not the answer to your question, but we are still an off-premise catering company. We simply want to provide a service to our clients that'll open up the possibility of catering some of their smaller non-wedding events. I don't really have an answer to your specific question, though.
Okay, and letter B, under that same section, requires sound and contemporary planning of the proposed facility and change. So can you please speak to what planning has been done for this?
Nothing. I mean, I purchased the chairs and tables many years ago to accommodate a venue that we were catering in. The kitchen was transformed when we moved in 2006 because it had been a bakery kitchen, and we obviously couldn't use some of the massive equipment that they had. So at that time, I renovated the kitchen.
Okay, so letter C, under the same section of the code, is that it must be appropriate for the site. So you're seeking between 50 and 75 people, you said, is your average for events?
Yeah, but obviously that would be determined by John.
Right, but
We're not interested in doing anything not permitted by the borough. So if you say to me, well, I'm looking at the space, we're not going to permit that for whatever reason, and you top us out at 50 or 60, that's what we're going to work with.
so I'll go with 50. So 50 people
Mhm.
coming into this space, the site is appropriate for 50 individuals showing up to this space.
Yes.
And how have you prepared for traffic and parking?
Well, again, parking, I can probably do 8 to 10 cars.
And how are you getting that number of 8 to 10 cars? Have you measured out the spaces in compliance with the borough requirements for parking?
Not the borough requirements. I have measured out the space. The space of my lot is 40 by 57. That's the space of my lot.
And what's going to happen to the box truck?
Oh, I'm selling it.
And will there be loading and unloading?
Not in this entrance. I have a side loading dock.
And how do you plan to handle rideshare?
On my contract, we encourage people, on my contract with the client, we encourage people to do the Uber.
Right, so with the parking lot being like this and it being up against Baltimore Avenue, which is a busy space, a busy road, how did you plan to
They
account
could-
for?
They could come through the side entrance. I have a side entrance right next to the loading dock.
And that would be on a side street?
That would be on, I believe it's
Yeah.
Walnut. Yeah, right there. That's the brown door is my door. And that's what used to be Goldschmidt.
And what are your plans for hours?
We would really prefer to do our work. The type of events that we're going for, we really don't want to go past 9 o'clock.
Every night?
No. Saturday, Sunday. We'll do the memorials and they happen during the week, but we're really only interested in filling up for this Saturday afternoon and early evening. Again, the showers, the good small graduation parties. And then
I believe it was listed, is this, Mr. Solicitor, does the board have copy of the application in front of them?
I think the
Yes.
board's been distributed out to them, yes.
So, do you have a copy? I just want to make sure I direct you to the proper page. It looks like you have a event rental agreement
Right.
or application in here. And I just want to confirm that the date and time that you have listed in that rental agreement is not correct.
well, this is, I mean, this is a starting point. What page are you on?
I am on
The first page.
your Lux venue by Cricket
Yeah.
Catering.
This was just a starting point, and this was done prior to contacting I guess contacting John in the beginning.
And I just,
I'm looking to be cleaned up and out of there at 10 o'clock. If I'm to be out of there at 10 o'clock, the client's got to be out of there at 10 o'clock.
okay, and I'm also looking at it's the last page of my packet, and it's in bold lettering, it's a one pager.
Mhm.
And the top says the Lux Catering
Yeah, yeah.
venue, Cricket Catering venue. And then it goes into your history. And then I'm at proposed capacity.
That was done strictly by the math. I have 35 years experience. I've done tents, I've done large events, and I automatically do things by the math. I know that the math, it makes no sense in this because John's going to come in, he's going to say, no, you're not going to do that. You're going to do this. And that's what we're going to comply with. But if you talk strictly by the math and you're looking at a room, I'll say, well, the math says that you can get 110 people in there
Your math says that you can get 145 for standing.
for stand-up.
Which,
I was talking about sit-down.
so under the 145, technically you would need 48 spots for parking.
Right, right. And again, I'm only going by the math of the space. I didn't consider parking.
And down here, it also talks about requiring staffing, including a
Right.
production team, wait staff, bartender, security person, and management.
That's correct.
And where would they park?
They would probably park in the municipal lot.
And does the municipal lot have a meter? Mr. Gould?
I believe they do not at this time, no.
Okay.
The, on that point, there are a few of my staff that are local already, so they don't really drive.
And have you talked with any of your neighboring like residences or businesses to see if they were in favor of the plan?
I have not.
And have you looked at traffic whatsoever and how this might impact traffic with having people pull into the lot, pull out of the lot, and the ride share?
I've owned the building since 2006, so I am very familiar with the traffic on Baltimore Avenue.
For the off-site catering, yes, but with bringing individuals in, have you done a traffic study? Have you brought in an engineer? Have you looked at how to best route that traffic to ensure
No, I
that
have
there
not
are
done
no
a traffic
backups?
study.
Is there anything unique about this property that would render it so unusable as its current use that you're required or kind of being forced to make this expansion?
Well, the pandemic certainly shot us in the arm. We haven't recovered from that. I think it's a great venue. It has, I'm a business guy. I'm looking for another avenue of profit, basically. I'm looking to see how I can expand my business.
So, would you have any other hardship that you can identify besides profit?
Hardship?
Hardship.
No, I do not.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, Ms. Solicitor. Is there, would it be apropos at this point to ask if there's anyone resident, public in the audience? Or
Yeah, so I just want to confirm, is there any more witnesses or testimony
No.
or exhibits that the applicant wants to introduce?
No.
Okay, so yes, Mr. Chairman.
So yes, is there anyone in the audience that is a resident of the Borough of Clifton that'd like to make a comment regarding this? No? Okay.
Mr. Solicitor and Mr. Chairman, if I could just make one closing statement. The applicant doesn't meet any of the requirements as laid out in your zoning ordinance for a special exception. The borough would request that this board consider denial of this application, at least at this time.
Thank you, Ms. Solicitor.
Thank you.
At this time, Mr. Chairman, or I am Mr. Chairman, and Mr. Solicitor, we'd like to take a 10-minute recess.
Yeah, so we'll close the record and this will introduce exhibits B1 through B3, the board exhibits. We'll also mark, I guess, as Exhibit A1, since we did refer to it and talk about it, is a copy of the webpage from yours. So Mr. Gould will print that out and supply it to us. And I think those were the only exhibits that we discussed during the hearing. So with that testimony and those exhibits, we'll close the record and the board will recess at this time for deliberation.
Please turn off your microphones. Just ask everybody to turn the microphones back on before we start.
Ready, Laura? So we'd like to reconvene the Clifton Heights Borough Zoning Board hearing for April 28th, 2026. At this time, I'd like to ask for a motion for denial of the application as it exists.
I motion to deny as it exists.
Can I get a second, please?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? So, unfortunately, at this time, Mr. Skinner, we have to deny the application for the special exception. You will be receiving a letter from the borough and our solicitor as to why we did deny the application. So with that,
Can I ask a question on the record
go right ahead.
or not? Or not?
Yeah, is that okay?
Okay. Sure. And it probably is more directed to you. When I see a similar venue, much larger venue across the street on the third floor, this is just for my purposes for future consideration. How do they qualify even under the parking requirements?
I actually don't have any of their information in front of me to answer that question.
Okay.
I would have assumed that they have appeared before this board and made an application in the past, and I would refer that question back to this board and to Mr. McBlain, the solicitor.
So the property that's across the street, the big stone building at the corner of Baltimore and Springfield, at least portions of that building have been used for assembly and this type of event space for many decades before the existence of the zoning ordinance. So they were a pre-existing non-conforming use that is there. Same with other facilities in the immediate neighborhood, such as the American Legion, that has events. So they were, as sometimes people call it, grandfathered in, prior to the requirements of the ordinance. There have been other applications that have come before this board in recent years. One from the operator, I believe, of that property at at Springfield and Baltimore to expand the catering space to some of the storefront areas there. They made the same application as you did, and they were also denied by the zoning hearing board. As the chairman said, what will happen is we'll send out a written notice to you just of the board's decision, but then a fuller explanation, will be sent to you. And I think what you'll see there is there are standards. The solicitor is asking you questions from the zoning code that, what the code says is that in order to meet the requirements for a special exception, you have to show to the board that you have met these standards. And some of these standards are things like that the proposed use will provide for adequate off-street parking as required by the parking regulations in the chapter. That the proposed use is suitable in terms of its effect on highway safety and traffic circulation, and that access, on-site circulation, and parking are adequate in view of anticipated traffic. So I think the board, I think, felt strongly that the parking situation is really untenable there. I mean, you haven't presented, and I understand that you're just at the outset of the process, but there's no sort of site plans or parking plan that would be there. You've got a very narrow and small parking lot that, again, a standard parking spot is 8 or 9 by 18.
So just in theory, I'm going to ask you a question. In theory, if I had a next door neighbor that had a parking lot and I sub-rented his parking lot, that might be a consideration on
Again,
your part?
you heard questions tonight from the board. Parking is, as you know, parking is at a premium in this area in the borough. The borough is trying to improve that. You know, you saw there's some construction going on at the other corner of Springfield and
Right.
Baltimore,
Mhm.
where there was an old house that was brought down. There'll be more parking that's added there. So the borough is attempting to add more parking to the area. However, that being said, the businesses, I think that the feeling of the board is that the businesses in that area, you know, that businesses that draw large amounts of parking are not compatible with the businesses that are right in that downtown district there. They're trying to improve the parking situation, but when you're talking about attracting 25 to 35 cars or something like that, quite honestly, the question is, where are you going to put them on a Saturday until 10 o'clock? So I can't, you know, it's hypothetical. I can't answer your question of would the board have decided it differently if you had an agreement with your next door neighbor to be allowed to use all his parking. That might improve, you know, what we heard tonight.
Right.
I can't state.
Right.
It would be up to the board.
Well, I appreciate it that you kind of followed up with that because I wasn't sure if I asked the question clearly enough, but I did, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, you understand it. So I don't want to say that the parking was the only reason, but again, you'll get a fuller explanation, but certainly that is a primary consideration.
Okay.
Not only for your application, but for other similar applications that have come in for quote event space in that area.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Solicitor.
I'm not happy about this. You know, we've been a great neighbor for 20 years and we love being in Clifton Heights. I purchased the building. We take care of the building. It's just very unfortunate. And I will continue to be a great neighbor in Clifton Heights.
I'm sure the borough appreciates that. And again, the decision of the board doesn't reflect whether or not the board or the borough thinks that you are a good neighbor or not. The question is, you know, you are asking to being allowed to use your property, not in conformity with the borough laws. And there's a standard and there's a burden in order to do that you have to show to the board. And they're simply saying that you didn't meet that burden as of tonight. You can certainly are free to speak to Mr. Gould in the future, you know, discuss with him things like, you know, having an architect's plan or an engineer's plan or a parking plan or things like going out and finding additional parking. If the next door neighbor, you know, has a multitude of parking that you can do that may or may not sway the board's decision in the future. But just because the fact that the board, you know, didn't grant the application, that doesn't mean they don't think you're a good business or appreciated in the municipality, or that they think you're not a good neighbor. And I'm sure that the borough, you know, the borough's opposition to your application probably is the same way in terms of the borough council. Certainly doesn't feel that you are a bad neighbor or a bad business or something that they don't want here. The question is simply, if you were to be allowed to expand the way you want, you know, would that have positive or negative effects on the borough? And at least for tonight, with the evidence that we've received.
No, I appreciate it. And I appreciate everyone meeting with us. I really do.
With that, Mr. Chairman, we have no further business.
So with that, we'll call for adjournment. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
I second.
Thank you.